Episode 15 of Defenders of Berk. A Tale of Two Dragons. Decent.
Good filler episode.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with the actual plot line that the season's supposed to be about.
Yeah.
It's just there. Although it's a good bonding experience for Snotlout and Astrid.
Yeah.
As well as the dragons.
In my opinion, this is more mediocre than anything. Because it doesn't really belong in this season.
Yeah, it was a filler episode, purely.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably something that didn't make the cut for the first season, but then they revamped it. And
Yeah,
they were like, okay, we'll put it in the second.
Yeah. Some character development. Animation was alright.
Yep.
But...
character development was very touching.
Mm-hmm.
Funny.
Dog snoring. But
the dragons learned new moves. They added a new plant.
Yeah. That's it.
We discovered that rock types are immune to the plant.
Yeah. And...
thanks to their rock diet.
yeah, what I think they could elaborate on.
Yeah, there's... I mean, I can understand... we know that meat lug eats rocks, but there's no way she survives on nothing but rocks.
Yeah, she'd have to eat more than that.
I mean, we've seen them eat fish, but so far all we've seen... fish legs feed meat lug
Meat leg.
meat lug is rocks, which is, it couldn't work like that.
Mm-hmm.
She'd need protein. She's definitely got enough vitamins and minerals, but
You'd need other things.
she'd need a protein base to provide other things that rocks can't provide, and
But it's a decent episode. It added a few new things.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say much about it.
No. It was funny and adorable.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like you said, it's filler.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
It's fluff and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's no development to the original plot line.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Snotlout and Astrid finally learn how to work as a team.
That's really it, yeah.
That's really it. And that's useful for the future.
Like setting up future episodes, but that doesn't help with this story.
Mm-mm.
And it felt a little forced, if you ask me.
But that's probably because of the 20-minute timeline that they have to fill.
But it's decent. I can't say anything really bad about it.
No, they hit Viking culture over the head yet again. Ironically.
There was some comedy.
Yep. Snotlout's the same old, I'm muscular and stupid. I mean, he says that, so at least he's aware of it.
The twins
are pretty... They're
Where is their IQ? I can't find it.
Yeah, really. I mean, Snotlout could be more intelligent if he thought more, but the problem is he's too busy trying to be an impressive man, so he won't think. Because his definition of manhood is to not think.
Yeah.
Hopefully he grows up and learns.
Well, by the second movie, we do see he is more intelligent.
More of a real man instead of a broad brushstroke gloss over toxic masculinity. Jerk face.
I think a way I could sum that up is the cardboard cutout of a smug ass.
Yeah. Which is essentially him right now.
We got a little character development.
Yeah, we realize he does have compassion. It's just...
yes, raced Fireworm Island this episode.
Yeah. So he is an actual person. He just has to work through some of the turmoil he has internally.
I think his dad has a problem.
His dad is very much a part of his turmoil. Adulthood and getting out of that house will probably help. And his dad's issue is probably because there is no mom in their life.
Maybe.
I imagine she probably died giving birth to Snotlout. That happened a lot. Which probably devastated his dad.
Yeah.
Which is probably why he's so overzealous with Snotlout.
I can see where you're coming from, yeah.
Because there's only one person he can give his compassion to, no matter how distorted it is, and that's Snotlout.
But, yeah. I can't say anything else about this episode. Let's just expand on several ideas. Stoics. 3 ways to get people to deal with people who are fighting.
That's where they hit Viking culture over the head. Now, granted, there was a lot of fighting to the death, but also at the same time, really, changing the weapon does not change the outcome. Someone still
comedic
dies.
reasoning.
Yeah, I know. It was purely comedy. They hit it over the head, but it was purely comedy.
Also, I think Snotlout might get a little backlash from that if he actually won somehow, because he would be killing a woman.
Yeah. Also, Hiccup's love interest, so that would totally shade their relationship.
Even though they don't say it that much in this series.
Yeah. Well, they don't want to hit it over the head like they hit everything else over the head.
Even though they again, they should be married already.
Yeah, by actual culture, they should be married by the age of 15.
But since this was made...
And babies should be on their mind.
Yeah. But since this was made in the 21st century and shown
and
to
for
kids...
children, they can't really discuss that, even though some of these children are learning about Romeo and Juliet was 14, and
I thought
Romeo
she was 13.
13/14, and Romeo was 18/22, depending on...
Diversion.
Yeah, some of it is what historians say, some of it's what English majors say, some of it's really reading between the lines for that,
But yeah, if kids are reading that, and I'm sure they can handle actual Viking marriage. Even though the traditions were a little weird by our standards. Do some research on that.
Most Vikings did hand fasting. And I forget the name because they did the fancy tie it with a scrap of cloth, and they tied 2 hands clasped together, but they would also do this fancy thing where they'd take a knife and they'd hold it in their hands, and they'd cut themselves with identical cuts, and then they'd pull the knife out and clasp their hands together so their blood was bound. It was a blood bond. That was a part of some marriage ceremonies among Viking tribes.
Why do I feel like that's just a good way to transmit diseases?
It is a good way to transmit diseases! But it also has some really good
ceremonial things.
Yeah, ceremonial meaning. I mean, it's kind of like the concept of a wedding ring. It's circular, it has no end, just like your love should, and the blood bond is that the two become one. Their hearts are beating, their blood is running together, they are bound eternally forever.
Yeah. I mean, based off traditional marriage values, I can see where they...
And then they have a matching scar that also firmly cements the right hand versus left hand with male-female. Because that's a big thing.
Maybe they can touch on that in the 3rd movie.
They're
in a more kid-friendly way.
Yeah, they're probably not going to cut their hands, and they're probably just going to do it with a scrap of cloth, tie it together.
Yeah. You might have to change a few other things to keep it kid-friendly. Even though I've read
not touch on the honeymoon?
Yeah. Although they might do a slightly less kid-friendly thing, even though the 2nd movie was already not kid-friendly, really, in a way. Because I've read that the director is actually shooting for a PG-13 movie with the 3rd. So maybe. We'll have to see, but...
Well, they're also aware that the kids who watched the first movie are the true fans.
Yeah.
So they're older with the second movie. They're even older with the third.
Yeah.
I mean, how old were we when the first movie came out? When did it come
I was
out?
in 5th grade.
Yeah. So I would have...
You would have been in 6th.
Yeah. Wow. Was it really that long ago?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Owen Wilson, wow. And then the second movie was recent.
That came out in 2014.
Yeah, so that was high school. I was in high school.
Mm-hmm. I was my freshman year.
Yeah. I was in 10th. So I was a teenager by then.
Mm-hmm.
An actual teenager.
And now we're adults. And I can picture this. The theater's going to be packed full of young adults.
Oh, millennials, for sure. Millennials.
But
I mean...
it's good for all ages.
Yeah.
It has something for everybody, really. Whether you're into dragons, fire, violence, friendship.
Yeah.
What I love with the second movie-ish. Family values, essentially, in a way.
Definitely family values.
Mm-hmm. I can't say anything more about this episode, though. How about you?
No, not really. We're kind of beyond it now.
Yep, this
So
happened.
over it.
If you just found this video, this happened a lot in our previous session.
Okay.
Next one?
Sure.
Okay. I don't remember what it's called. But...
It's got a title. That's all you need to know.
yes. You'll find out.